Hi there. It's September 14th and time for Proverbs 14 once again. Let's jump over there. Well, we'll just get into it, right? Verse 1, a wise woman buildeth a house, but the foolish destroyeth it with her own hands. All right, there's a note. That is, taketh pain to profit her family, and to do that which concerneth her duty in her house. Right? Tears it down with her own hands. Interesting, huh? I suppose you can make a whole sermon out of that. 2, he that walketh in his righteousness feareth the Lord, but he that is lewd in his ways despiseth him. That is, in uprightness of heart and without hypocrisy. Pretty plain statement, huh? He who walks in his uprightness fears the Lord. He who is devious in his ways despises the Lord. Think about that. I'm highlighted that over here. In the mouth of the foolish is the rod of pride, but the lips of the wise preserve them. The rod of pride. His proud tongue shall cause him to be punished. Right. It says over here in the map, the mouth of the foolish is a rod for his back. Right. Rod of pride. You keep shooting your mouth off and somebody's going to punch you, basically, right? Okay, for where none oxen are, there the crib is empty, but much increase cometh by the strength of the ox. Oops, let's get back to, we're going to highlight that. I was talking about that one. See what their note says. By the oxes meant labor, and by the crib is the barn, meaning without labor there is no profit. Right. A nice clean barn, a nice clean stable, nothing on the floors, no oxes there, no tractors. But without that, there's no work, there's no profit. Right? I liken that today to a auto mechanic shop. The cop shop is beautiful, clean. The floors are polished. The tools are shiny. There's no cars in there being fixed. So all of that shiny stuff is no good because you're not making any money, right? If you want to find a good mechanic, find an auto mechanic where there's lots of cars around being fixed. It usually means he knows what he's doing, right? 5, a faithful witness will not lie, but a false record will speak lies. False record. It says false witness over here. Utters, breathes out lies. True. Faithful witness will not lie. A scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy to him that will understand. Another note. For the maintenance of his own ambition and not for God's glory, as Simon Magus used an ain't there. Right? If you should be seeking wisdom for God's glory. Right? You won't find it easy. Interesting. 7, depart from the foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. I highlighted that over here. Leave the presence of a fool, or you will not discern words of knowledge. Right? No lips. Right. Don't hang around stupid people, okay? Foolish people. Yeah. That can be somebody that's just bragging and stuff. They're no fun to be around. Right? The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the foolishness of the fools is deceit. Foolishness of fools is deceit. Deceit, lies, right? The fool maketh a mock of sin, but among the righteous there is favor. Another note. doth not know the grievousness thereof, nor God's judgments against the same. Right? Fools mock at sin. They do. I'm going to go to hell with my friends. You don't even know, right? 10. The heart knoweth the bitterness of his soul, and the stranger shall not meddle with his joy. A man's conscience is a witness of his own grief, so another cannot feel the joy and comfort which a man feeleth in himself. Right? The heart knows its own bitterness, and the stranger does not share its joy. And that's a good statement. I mean, it's just a statement, but it's a statement. If somebody is hurting, something has happened, they've lost a loved one, you can pretend to know how they feel. You can have empathy, but even if the same thing happened to you, you won't know how they feel, okay? You can't. Every single person is created differently, so you can't know how they feel, right? And that goes for bitterness and for joy. You can't know, right? If people were all wired the same, you could know how they feel, but they're not. 11. The house of the wicked shall be destroyed, but the tabernacle of the righteous shall flourish. Right. Sooner or later, all the cards, the house of cards will fall. Right? There is a way that seemeth right to a man, but the issues thereof are the ways to death. Right. And we highlighted that over here. Shall we highlight it over here? There's a way that seems right to you, but its end is the way of death. Okay? You should always be seeking advice and following God, not your own ways. Mm-hmm. 13. Even in laughing, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. He showeth the allurement unto sin, seemeth sweet, but the end thereof is destruction. Allurement unto sin. That's over here. Even in laughter, the heart may be in pain, and the end of joy may be grief. Right. This says the allurement of sin. He showeth the allurement unto sin, seemeth sweet, but the end is destruction. It could mean the allurement to sin, laughing. Inside you're crying, right? 14. The heart that declineth shall be satiated with his own ways, but a good man shall depart from him. The heart that declineth. He that forsaketh God shall be punished and made weary of his sins wherein he delighted. Right. You're enjoying it now, but in the end, when you have to repent, you will not. Right. The backslider in heart will have his fill of his own ways, but a good man will be satisfied with his. Says something different, doesn't it? And the end of that mirth is heaviness. Right. This is a lot more straightforward. Right. Even when you're sinning, your heart knows you're doing wrong. The end of that mirth, happiness, joy, partying is heaviness, regret. Okay? That's what that is, regret. The heart that declineth shall be satiated. Doesn't that say the same thing up here? Right? The heart that declineth shall be satiated with his own ways, but a good man shall not depart from him. Weird. It seems like we read that same thing up here, right? Something very similar. Heart that declineth. Backslider. That's strange. It seems like I read that already. A backslider. Heart that declineth. Yeah. We read that already, right? That's strange. Heart that declineth. He that forsaketh God shall be punished and made weary of his sins wherein he delighted. Interesting. But a good man shall not depart from it. 15. The foolish will believe everything, but the prudent will consider his steps. Right. Some people will believe anything you tell them. Today they call them sheep because sheep follow whoever's ringing the bell. Weird, huh? 16. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but a fool raggeth and is careless. Rageth. A wise man is cautious and turns away from evil, but a fool is arrogant and careless. Are you wise? Depart from evil, right? Get away from that stuff. If you see protesters, go down a different street. Yeah. He that is hasty to anger committeth folly or foolishness, and a busybody is hated. A busybody. A man of imaginations. That's over here. A quick-tempered man acts foolishly, and a man of evil devices is hated. Right. If you get angry real quick, and some of us do, that's committing foolishness. Yeah. That's a constant struggle. You need to pray about that. And a busybody is hated. A busybody. I like that. A man of evil devices. Let's say here. The man of imaginations. Right. The foolish do inherit folly, foolishness, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Let that be prudent. 19. The evil shall sow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The evil shall bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. At some point, right? If this come not daily to pass, we must consider that it is because of our sins which lets God's working. If this doesn't happen, we must consider that it is because of our sins which let God's working. That's an interesting note, isn't it? At some point, the evil shall bow before the good, and the wicked shall bow at the gates of the righteous. Right? Strange, huh? 20. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the friends of the rich are many. Right? Nobody likes a poor person, right? When you're rich, you got lots of friends. You think they like you or your money? Yeah? I think it's your money. You want to see who your real friends are? Lose everything and see who still sticks around. Right? 21. The sinner despises his neighbor, but he that hath mercy on the poor is blessed. Right? God will pay you back every time. And the sinner despises his neighbor. He probably says something different over here. He who despises his neighbor sins, but happy is he who is gracious to the poor or afflicted. Right. Just another statement, right? 22. Do they not err that imagine evil? But to them that think on good things shall be mercy and truth. Will they not go astray who devise evil? But the kindness and truth will be to those who devise good. Right? People that dream up evil schemes. Think on good things. You shall be blessed. Right? Always look for good and try to do good. 23. In all labor there is abundance, but the talk of the lips bringeth only want. Right? You see people sit around and talk about what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. Well, there's somebody out there working. making money, feeding his family, paying his bills, right? Right. 24, the crown of the wise is their riches, and the folly of fools is foolishness. Right. The foolishness of fools is foolishness. The crown of the wise is their riches. So it's the same thing. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the folly of fools is foolishness. Right. It does say all over Solomon, if you seek wisdom first and fear God first and seek wisdom and knowledge and discretion and understanding, riches and honor will come to you automatically. Right? A faithful witness delivereth souls, but a deceiver speaketh lies. Right? There's lots of liars out there, right? That are not delivering souls, that's for sure. Okay, 26. In the fear of the Lord is an assured strength, and his children shall have hope. Right. Follow the Lord, revere the Lord, fear the Lord. Awesome, respect, awe. Okay. And this an assured strength, and your children shall have hope if they see you following the Lord. Get that? The fear of the Lord is a wellspring of life to avoid the snares of death. Right. It says, fear the Lord and you'll live longer. Right. 28. In the multitude of the people is the honor of a king, and for the want of people cometh the destruction of the prince. That is, the strength of kings standeth in many people, right? If a king has 1,000,000 people behind him, he's very strong. He's very good. If the people all turn their back and walk away, right? Destruction. 29. He that is slow to wrath is of great wisdom, but he that is of an hasty mind exalteth of folly. Slow to anger, probably says over here. And we highlighted it over here. He who is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who is quick-tempered exalts foolishness. Right? And we can all be quick-tempered sometimes. Just other things in life and stresses get to you and you start snapping out at stupid stuff. Right? Ask me how I know. Don't ask me how I know. Don't ask me that. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy is the rotting of the bones. Right. Body. Sound heart. What does that say over here? A tranquil heart is life to the body, but passion is rottenness to the bones. Passion. Sound heart is life of the flesh, but envy, it says passion over here, envy is the rotting of the bone. You sit around and you have plenty, but you want what somebody else has because it's better than yours, right? Rotting of the bones. 31. He that oppresseth the poor reproveth him that made him, but he honoreth him that hath mercy on the poor. Well, that's a very old world way of saying that, huh? Let's read it over here. He who oppresses the poor taunts his maker, but he who is gracious to the needy honors him. Okay? He who oppresses the poor reproveth him that made him. I'm talking about God there. Taunts his maker. Right? But you honor God if you have mercy on the poor, right? They're made in his image. A lot of places say they are put there just to test you. Yeah? 32, the wicked shall be cast away for his malice, but the righteous hath hope in his death. Right? We're talking about the end times here. Right? If you love Jesus and you follow Jesus and fear the Lord, there's hope in death because you're going somewhere far better. But if you have malice and you don't, you will be cast away, ultimately into the lake of fire. Right? 33, wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding, and is known in the midst of fools. For as much as they are convicted thereby and put to silence. Wisdom rests in the heart of one who has understanding, but in the hearts of fools, it is made known. Right. Wisdom rests in the heart of him who hath understanding. Okay? Understand means you got to comprehend all this stuff that we're reading. That's why we're reading it over and over again for 24 times, 2 years. Foolish people, have no problem showing you how foolish they are. 34, justice exalteth a nation, but sin is a shame to the people. Well, we know that, don't we? And the mercy of the people is a sacrifice for sin. Yes. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a disgrace to any people. Right? Justice, truth. Not a lot of that now, is there? We're in the end days, so we are in the end times. And 35, the pleasure of a king is in a wise servant, but his wrath shall be toward him that is lewd. Right. Be wise, don't be lewd. Okay. That's 14. This is what we highlighted in here. Highlighted 4. Where there are no oxen, the barn is empty and clean, but much increase cometh by the strength of the ox. Right. Much revenue comes by the strength of the ox. And, they use the oxes for everything. They use them to plow. They use them to pull carts. They use them to make money. Okay. If your barn's clean, there's no ox in there, it's not dirty, you're not making any money. Very simple. We highlighted 10. The hawk knoweth the bitterness of his soul, and the stranger shall not meddle with his joy. Right. And then it says, a man's conscience is a witness of his own grief, so another cannot feel the joy and comfort which a man feeleth in himself. Right. You can never know exactly how somebody feels. Even if they tell you, you won't know exactly how they feel. You're not them, okay? Whether it's joy or sorrow, you cannot, even if the same exact thing happened to you, you're going to feel different because you're not that person. Everybody is unique, okay? We highlighted 12. There is a way that seemeth right to a man, but the issues thereof are the ways to death. Right. What's that say over here? There's a way which seems right to a man, but his end is the way of death. It seems like I'm doing the right thing. You should ask God. Get some counsel. Wise counsel. Plenty of it out there. All right. You could be going down to death and you don't even know it. Okay, another one similar to this one up here. Similar to 10. Even in laughing, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. Right. It feels good when you're sinning, right? It feels good when you're drinking. But in the end, pain and sorrow, right? Heaviness. Okay, we highlighted 20. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the friends of the rich are many. Right? The poor is hated. It says the same thing over there. Interesting. The friends of the rich are many. Yes, if you're rich, you have lots of friends. So it seems, right? So it seems. But nobody likes a poor person. But like I said, if you want to know who your real friends are, lose everything and see who sticks around. Okay? 21, that's we're highlighting here. Checking our highlights. 29, we highlighted. He that is slow to wrath is of great wisdom, but he that is of a hasty mind exalteth folly or foolishness. Right? He's slow to anger. Right? Not easy to do sometimes, especially in today's world where there's so many bad things going on. Right? And I highlight these for myself. So I thought there was another one that said that. Maybe I highlighted over here. Slow to anger. Yeah, see, I guess I didn't. There wasn't. I thought there was two angry things in here. I don't remember reading 33. Huh. Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding, and is known in the midst of fools. Well, I guess we did. So, there you have it. That's Proverbs 14. We're just going to keep doing this. Stay tuned later today. We are in the book of Daniel, and it's very exciting. I mean, that was a very, great history came out of Daniel. And he talks a lot about end times and Revelation, too. So, we're doing that later today. We are on day 258, I think. I'm checking real quick here. Yep, day 258. We're in the book of Daniel. So check that out later on today. But remember, control your temper, right? Work hard. Don't dream about working. Work. Earn your keep. Be humble. All the stuff we're learning in Proverbs. See you next time.